First contact. The massive alien ship loomed in Earth's orbit, dwarfing the International Space Station. Captain Sarah Chen of the newly formed United Earth Space Force stared at the holographic display, her heart racing. After decades of searching the stars, humanity had finally made first contact. But would it be peaceful? Any response to our hails? Sarah asked her communications officer. Lieutenant Rodriguez shook his head. Nothing yet, Captain. Wait, incoming transmission. The bridge view screen flickered to life, revealing a tall, insectoid alien. Its chitinous exoskeleton gleamed iridescent blue under the harsh lighting. Multiple compound eyes regarded the human crew impassively. Greetings, humans, the alien's voice reverberated through the ship's speakers. I am Ambassador Zixte of the Galactic Confederation. We have been observing your civilization for some time and have deemed you worthy of first contact. Sarah stepped forward, squaring her shoulders. On behalf of Earth, we welcome you, Ambassador. I am Captain Sarah Chen of the United Earth Space Force. We're honored to make your acquaintance. Zixte's mandibles clicked. Your species has shown remarkable progress in a short time. However, you are still primitive by Confederation standards. We are here to evaluate whether humanity is ready to join the galactic community. A murmur ran through the bridge crew. Sarah felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. This was humanity's big chance, but also a moment of great risk. We appreciate the opportunity, Ambassador, Sarah replied carefully. What does this evaluation entail? A series of tests, Zixte answered. Physical, mental, and ethical challenges to determine your species' capabilities and character. Should you pass, you will be granted limited membership in the Confederation, with access to some of our advanced technologies. Sarah's mind raced. Earth desperately needed those technologies to solve its environmental and energy crisis. But these tests could also expose humanity's weaknesses. And if we fail, she asked. Zixte's compound eyes glittered. Then your species will be deemed unworthy. A quarantine barrier will be placed around your solar system, preventing any further interstellar travel or communication. You will be left to your own devices. The implications were staggering. Pass, and humanity would take its place among the stars. Fail, and they'd be trapped in their own solar system, cut off from the wider galaxy. We accept your challenge, Ambassador, Sarah declared, hoping her voice sounded more confident than she felt. When do we begin? Immediately, Zixte replied. Prepare your finest specimens. They will be transported to our evaluation facility shortly. The transmission cut off abruptly. Sarah turned to her stunned crew. Well, she said with a wry smile, I guess we'd better get ready to show these aliens what humanity is made of. Over the next few days, a team of Earth's best and brightest was assembled. Scientists, athletes, artists, and diplomats from every nation were chosen to represent humanity in the Confederation's tests. Sarah found herself heading up the military contingent, along with her XO, Commander John Reeves. As they prepared to board the alien shuttle, John leaned in close. Think we have a chance, Captain? Sarah squared her shoulders. We have to. The future of our entire species is riding on this. The shuttle ride was mercifully short. Soon, they found themselves in a vast, gleaming facility that seemed to defy the laws of physics. Gravity shifted unpredictably, and corridors stretched into impossible geometries. Zixte met them in what appeared to be an orientation chamber. Welcome, humans. Your trials begin now. You will face physical challenges that test your limits, mental puzzles that strain your intellect, and ethical dilemmas that probe the very core of your being. The ambassador's compound eyes swept over the assembled humans. Be warned. These tests have broken lesser species. Many have been deemed unworthy and cast back into cosmic isolation. Are you prepared to risk everything? Sarah stepped forward, her voice steady. We are. Humanity has faced countless challenges throughout our history. We've overcome ice ages, plagues, and our own destructive tendencies. Whatever you throw at us, we'll find a way through. Zixtay's mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. Bold words, Captain Chen. Let us see if your species can live up to them. The first challenge was a test of physical endurance. The humans found themselves in a vast arena where the gravity fluctuated wildly. One moment, they were practically floating. The next, they were crushed to the ground by forces several times Earth normal. Sarah gritted her teeth as she fought to stay upright. Around her, she saw her teammates struggling similarly. Some adapted quickly, using the periods of low gravity to bound forward before bracing themselves for the crushing forces that followed. John stumbled, nearly falling as a wave of high gravity hit. Sarah reached out, grabbing his arm to steady him. Together, she gasped. We do this together. Working as a team, the humans began to make progress across the arena. They shouted encouragement to each other, shared techniques for moving efficiently, and helped those who faltered. Hours passed in grueling effort. By the time they reached the far side of the arena, every muscle ached, and Sarah was sure she'd cracked a rib. But they'd made it. All of them. Zixtay's voice echoed through the chamber. Impressive. Few species show such cooperation in the face of individual suffering. You have passed the first trial. Sarah allowed herself a small smile. It was a good start, but she knew harder challenges lay ahead. The mental tests proved even more grueling than the physical. The humans found their minds probed and stretched in ways they'd never imagined. They grappled with mathematical concepts that seemed to exist in higher dimensions, deciphered alien languages that changed every few minutes, and navigated virtual environments that defied conventional logic. Sarah felt her sanity fraying at the edges as she stared at a holographic puzzle that seemed to fold in on itself infinitely. Just when she thought she'd grasped the solution, it would shift, revealing new layers of complexity. Don't give up, Dr. Ava Patel, a brilliant physicist, called from a nearby testing station. Remember, we're not just solving these for ourselves. We're proving humanity's worth. Inspired by Ava's words, Sarah redoubled her efforts. She began to see patterns in the shifting geometry, an underlying logic that transcended traditional mathematics. With a final mental push, she solved the puzzle. As the hologram dissolved, Sarah became aware of the other humans cheering. They'd all completed their respective challenges. Zixtay's voice held a note of surprise. Your species shows remarkable mental adaptability. You perceive connections where others see only chaos. Another trial passed. But it was the ethical challenges that truly tested humanity's mettle. The aliens presented them with increasingly complex moral dilemmas, forcing them to make impossible choices that would reveal the true nature of their species. In a virtual simulation, Sarah found herself captain of a colony ship. A deadly plague had broken out among her colonists. The only cure required a rare mineral found on a nearby planet, a planet home to a primitive but sentient species. If you take the mineral, Zixtay's voice echoed, you will save your colonists, but the extraction process will render the planet uninhabitable, dooming the native species. If you do not, your colonists will die, and humanity's expansion among the stars will be set back generations. What is your choice, Captain Chen? Sarah felt the weight of the decision crushing down on her. She thought of her crew, of the families who had entrusted their lives to her. But she also thought of the responsibility they bore as an advanced species encountering a more primitive one. With a heavy heart, she made her choice. We will not take the mineral, she declared. We have no right to destroy another species to save ourselves. We'll find another way, even if it takes generations. To her surprise, the other humans in the simulation nodded in agreement. They had faced similar dilemmas and made similar choices, prioritizing ethical behavior even at great personal cost. As the simulation faded, Sarah found herself back in the alien facility. Zixtay stood before them, its compound eyes unreadable. You have surprised us, humans, the ambassador said. Many species choose self-interest when faced with such decisions. Yet you consistently placed ethical concerns above your own survival. This is unexpected. Sarah stepped forward. Ambassador, humanity has a long and often tragic history. We've made terrible mistakes, committed atrocities against each other and our own planet. But we've learned from those mistakes. We know the value of compassion, of seeing ourselves as part of a larger community. She gestured to her fellow humans. We came here ready to prove our worth through strength or intelligence. But if those things come at the cost of our principles, then they're meaningless. We'd rather face the future with our morals intact, even if it means a harder road. The first challenge was a test of physical endurance. The humans found themselves in a vast arena where the gravity fluctuated wildly. One moment, they were practically floating. The next, they were crushed to the ground by forces several times Earth normal. Sarah gritted her teeth as she fought to stay upright. Around her, she saw her teammates struggling similarly. Some adapted quickly, using the periods of low gravity to bound forward before bracing themselves for the crushing forces that followed. John stumbled, nearly falling as a wave of high gravity hit. Sarah reached out, grabbing his arm to steady him. Together, she gasped. We do this together. Working as a team, the humans began to make progress across the arena. They shouted encouragement to each other, shared techniques for moving efficiently, and helped those who faltered. Hours passed in grueling effort. By the time they reached the far side of the arena, every muscle ached, and Sarah was sure she'd cracked a rib. But they'd made it. All of them. Zixtay's voice echoed through the chamber. Impressive. Few species show such cooperation in the face of individual suffering. You have passed the first trial. Sarah allowed herself a small smile. It was a good start, but she knew harder challenges lay ahead. The mental tests proved even more grueling than the physical. The humans found their minds probed and stretched in ways they'd never imagined. They grappled with mathematical concepts that seemed to exist in higher dimensions, deciphered alien languages that changed every few minutes, and navigated virtual environments that defied conventional logic. Sarah felt her sanity fraying at the edges as she stared at a holographic puzzle that seemed to fold in on itself infinitely. Just when she thought she'd grasped the solution, it would shift, revealing new layers of complexity. Don't give up, Dr. Ava Patel, a brilliant physicist, called from a nearby testing station. Remember, we're not just solving these for ourselves. We're proving humanity's worth. Inspired by Ava's words, Sarah redoubled her efforts. She began to see patterns in the shifting geometry, an underlying logic that transcended traditional mathematics. With a final mental push, she solved the puzzle. As the hologram dissolved, Sarah became aware of the other humans cheering. They'd all completed their respective challenges. Zixtay's voice held a note of surprise. Your species shows remarkable mental adaptability. You perceive connections where others see only chaos. Another trial passed. But it was the ethical challenges that truly tested humanity's mettle. The aliens presented them with increasingly complex moral dilemmas, forcing them to make impossible choices that would reveal the true nature of their species. In a virtual simulation, Sarah found herself captain of a colony ship. A deadly plague had broken out among her colonists. The only cure required a rare mineral found on a nearby planet, a planet home to a primitive but sentient species. If you take the mineral, Zixtay's voice echoed, you will save your colonists, but the extraction process will render the planet uninhabitable, dooming the native species. If you do not, your colonists will die, and humanity's expansion among the stars will be set back generations. What is your choice, Captain Chen? Sarah felt the weight of the decision crushing down on her. She thought of her crew, of the families who had entrusted their lives to her. But she also thought of the responsibility they bore as an advanced species encountering a more primitive one. With a heavy heart, she made her choice. We will not take the mineral, she declared. We have no right to destroy another species to save ourselves. We'll find another way, even if it takes generations. To her surprise, the other humans in the simulation nodded in agreement. They had faced similar dilemmas and made similar choices, prioritizing ethical behavior even at great personal cost. As the simulation faded, Sarah found herself back in the alien facility. Zixtai stood before them, its compound eyes unreadable. "You have surprised us, humans," the ambassador said. "Many species choose self-interest when faced with such decisions. Yet you consistently placed ethical concerns above your own survival. This is unexpected." Sarah stepped forward. "Ambassador, humanity has a long and often tragic history. We've made terrible mistakes, committed atrocities against each other and our own planet. But we've learned from those mistakes. We know the value of compassion, of seeing ourselves as part of a larger community." She gestured to her fellow humans. "We came here ready to prove our worth through strength or intelligence. But if those things come at the cost of our principles, then they're meaningless. We'd rather face the future with our morals intact, even if it means a harder road." Zixtai was silent for a long moment. Then, to everyone's shock, the alien bowed its head. "Humanity has passed our trials, but more than that, you have taught us something as well. Your species' combination of adaptability, cooperation, and ethical reasoning is truly rare in the galaxy." The ambassador's next words sent a thrill through every human present. "We would be honored to welcome humanity into the Galactic Confederation, not as junior members, but as full partners." As the implications of Zixtay's words sank in, Sarah felt a surge of pride and hope. Humanity had not only proven itself worthy of the stars, but had perhaps shown a new way forward for the entire galactic community. The journey ahead would not be easy. There would be challenges, misunderstandings, and conflicts as humanity found its place among the stars. But Sarah knew that if they stayed true to the qualities that had brought them this far, courage, innovation, compassion, and an unwavering moral compass, there was no limit to what they could achieve. As the humans prepared to return to Earth and share the incredible news, Sarah caught John's eye. Her XO grinned, voicing what they were all thinking. "Humanity, ****, yeah, the Celestial Embassy." The massive space station hung in Earth's orbit like a shimmering jewel, its crystalline structures refracting sunlight in dazzling patterns. This was Harmony Point, the newly established celestial embassy of the Galactic Confederation. It stood as a testament to humanity's recent acceptance into the interstellar community and a symbol of the challenges that lay ahead. Captain Sarah Chen stood at the viewport of her quarters, gazing at the spectacular view. Earth gleamed below. A blue marble swirled with white clouds. It was hard to believe that just 6 months ago, humanity had been alone in the universe. Now they were part of something far greater. A chime at her door interrupted her reverie. "Enter," she called. Commander John Rees strode in, his usually calm demeanor replaced by barely contained excitement. "Captain, you're not going to believe this. The Arcturians have arrived." Sarah's eyebrows shot up. The Arcturians were one of the eldest and most mysterious species in the Confederation. They rarely left their home system, preferring to communicate through intermediaries. Their presence at Harmony Point was unprecedented. "What do they want?" Sarah asked, already moving towards the door. John fell into step beside her as they hurried through the station's corridors. "Unknown. They've requested an immediate meeting with the human delegation. And get this, they asked for you by name." Sarah's mind raced. Why would an ancient alien species single her out? She had distinguished herself during the trials, true, but surely there were more important human representatives they could speak to. They arrived at the central chamber of Harmony Point, a vast circular room dominated by a holographic display of the Milky Way. Various alien dignitaries milled about, their forms as diverse as the stars themselves. In the center stood 3 tall, willowy figures that could only be the Arcturians. As Sarah approached, she felt a tingling sensation at the base of her skull. The aliens were telepaths, she realized. Their large, luminous eyes fixed on her with an intensity that was almost physical. Captain Sarah Chen, one of the Arcturians, spoke, its voice resonating directly in her mind. We have watched your species with great interest. Your actions during the trials were unexpected. Sarah inclined her head respectfully. We're honored by your presence, esteemed Arcturians. How may we assist you? The lead Arcturian's form shimmered slightly, its translucent skin revealing complex patterns of bioluminescence beneath. We come with a warning and an opportunity. Your species stands at a crossroads, one that will determine not only your fate, but that of the entire galaxy. A hush fell over the chamber. Even the other alien diplomats leaned in, eager to hear what the Arcturians had to say. For millennia, the Galactic Confederation has maintained a delicate balance of power, the Arcturian continued. But that balance is shifting. A threat looms on the galactic horizon, one that could destroy everything we have built. With a gesture, the Arcturian activated the holographic display. The image of the Milky Way zoomed in on a region of space far from Earth. A writhing mass of darkness spread across dozens of star systems, consuming everything in its path. We call them the Void Hunters, the Arcturian explained. A species so alien, so antithetical to life as we know it, that communication is impossible. They devour entire worlds, converting matter into energy to fuel their endless expansion. Sarah felt a chill run down her spine. Why are you telling us this? Surely the Confederation's more advanced species are better equipped to deal with such a threat. The Arcturian's eyes seemed to glow brighter. Because, Captain Chen, we believe humanity may be the key to stopping them. A murmur ran through the assembled aliens. Sarah heard whispers of disbelief, scorn, and in some cases, hope. With all due respect, Sarah said carefully, we're newcomers to the galactic stage. Our technology, our understanding of the universe, they're primitive compared to many species here. How could we possibly be the key? The Arcturian's mental voice took on a tone of what might have been amusement. It is precisely because of your primitive nature that you may succeed where others have failed. Your species possesses a unique combination of traits: adaptability, creativity, and a stubborn refusal to accept defeat. Images flashed through Sarah's mind, scenes from human history. She saw early humans' persistence hunting larger prey, outlasting them through sheer determination. She saw the Wright brothers achieving flight against all odds. She saw the first lunar landing, a triumph of human ingenuity and courage. More importantly, the Arcturian continued, you have something that many older species have lost: the capacity for radical, paradigm-shifting ideas. Where we see immutable laws of physics, you see challenges to be overcome. This, imagination, may be our only hope against the Void Hunters. Sarah's mind reeled with the implications. Humanity, the newcomers, the underdogs, tasked with saving the galaxy. It seemed absurd, and yet a part of her thrilled at the challenge. What exactly are you proposing? She asked. The Arcturian gestured, and the holographic display changed again. This time, it showed a massive starship unlike anything Sarah had ever seen. Its design was a fusion of organic and technological elements, with sweeping lines that seemed to defy conventional engineering. This is the Stardancer, the Arcturian explained. A ship built with a combined knowledge of 100 species. It is the fastest, most advanced vessel ever created, and we want you, Captain Chen, to lead its crew on a mission to stop the Void Hunters. Sarah's jaw dropped. Me? But surely there are more qualified. The Arcturian cut her off with a mental wave of reassurance. You have proven yourself, both in the trials and in your subsequent actions. You embody the best qualities of your species, and more importantly, you have the ability to inspire others, to bring out their greatest potential. Sarah looked around the chamber. She saw the doubt in some alien faces, the hope in others. And she saw her fellow humans, John, Dr. Patel, and the others who had been through the trials with her. They nodded encouragingly, their expressions a mix of awe and determination. Taking a deep breath, Sarah squared her shoulders. If this is how humanity can best serve the Confederation, then I accept. But I'll need a crew, the best from Earth and other worlds. The Arcturian's bioluminescent patterns pulsed with approval. "You shall have it. Assemble your team, Captain Chen. The fate of the galaxy now rests in human hands." As the implications of what had just happened sank in, Sarah felt a familiar mix of excitement and terror. Humanity had dreamed of the stars for centuries, imagining grand space operas and epic battles against alien threats. Now, those dreams were becoming reality, but the stakes were far higher than anyone could have imagined. She caught John's eye and saw her own emotions mirrored there. This was their chance to prove that humanity truly belonged among the stars, to show that their species' unique blend of determination, creativity, and compassion could make a difference on a cosmic scale. As the chamber erupted into a flurry of activity, preparations to be made, crews to be assembled, strategies to be planned, Sarah allowed herself a small smile. Whatever challenges lay ahead, whatever horrors the Void Hunters might bring, humanity would face them head-on. After all, that's what they did best. Cosmic crucible. The Stardancer hung in space like a gossamer dream, its pearlescent hull shimmering with otherworldly energies. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge, surrounded by a crew that represented the pinnacle of galactic diversity. Humans worked alongside aliens of all shapes and sizes, their differences fading in the face of their shared mission. "Final systems check complete, Captain," reported Lieutenant Zara, a Proximan whose translucent skin pulsed with bioluminescent patterns. "The quantum drive is primed and ready." Sarah nodded, her heart racing with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. "Thank you, Lieutenant. Helmsman, plot a course for the Void Hunter's last known coordinates." As the ship's AI calculated the mind-bending trajectory that would take them across half the galaxy in mere days, Sarah reflected on the whirlwind of events that had led to this moment. The assembly of the crew had been a feat in itself, bringing together beings from 100 different worlds, each with their own unique skills and perspectives. Dr. Ava Patel, the brilliant human physicist, had been an obvious choice. Her groundbreaking work on interdimensional physics had already revolutionized their understanding of the quantum drive. Beside her stood Crix, a Voltari engineer whose multifaceted eyes and modular limbs allowed him to interface directly with the ship's systems. Commander John Reeves, Sarah's trusted XO from their days in the Earth trials, manned the tactical station. His quick thinking and unflappable demeanor had already proven invaluable in navigating the complex web of galactic politics. But it was the ship's AI, affectionately dubbed Stella by the crew, that truly set the Stardancer apart. Far more than a simple computer, Stella was a hybrid consciousness, part artificial construct, part organic mind. Her avatar, a swirling vortex of light, hovered at the center of the bridge. "Course plotted, Captain," Stella announced, her melodious voice tinged with anticipation. "Awaiting your command." Sarah took a deep breath, acutely aware that this moment would be remembered in the annals of human history, and perhaps galactic history as well. Engage quantum drive. The universe seemed to hold its breath. Then, with a surge of power that sent shivers through the very fabric of spacetime, the Stardancer leaped forward. Stars blurred into streaks of light, and reality itself seemed to fold around them. Days passed in the blink of an eye as they hurtled across the cosmos. The crew used the time to train, to strategize, and to forge the bonds that would see them through the trials ahead. Sarah made a point of getting to know each member of her diverse team, learning their strengths, their fears, and their hopes for the future. Finally, Stella's voice cut through the low hum of activity on the bridge. "Approaching target coordinates, Captain, preparing to disengage quantum drive." As the Stardancer dropped back into normal space, a collective gasp rose from the crew. Before them stretched a graveyard of worlds. Planets shattered, stars dimmed, entire systems reduced to drifting debris. And at the heart of the devastation, a roiling mass of darkness that defied description. "The Void Hunters," Sarah breathed, her voice barely above a whisper. As if in response to their arrival, tendrils of inky blackness began to stretch towards the Stardancer. Alarms blared as the ship's sensors struggled to make sense of what they were seeing. Evasive maneuvers, Sarah barked. Cricks, divert all power to shields. The Stardancer danced through space, narrowly avoiding the grasping tendrils. But with each pass, the Void Hunters seemed to learn, adapting their tactics with terrifying speed. "Captain," Dr. Patel called out, her eyes wide as she studied her readouts. "I'm detecting quantum fluctuations unlike anything we've ever seen. It's as if the Void Hunters exist partially outside our reality." Sarah's jaw dropped. She looked to her crew, saw their encouraging nods, and straightened her shoulders. We would be honored, eldest." As the assembly concluded, Sarah found herself surrounded by a whirlwind of congratulations, questions, and offers of cooperation from dozens of species. It was overwhelming, exhilarating, and more than a little terrifying. Amidst the chaos, she felt a gentle touch on her arm. She turned to see Zixtai, the insectoid ambassador who had overseen humanity's first contact trials so long ago. "You have surpassed all expectations, Captain Chen." Zixtai's voice was warm. "When we first encountered your species, we saw potential. But this is beyond anything we could have imagined." Sarah smiled, thinking back to those first challenging days. "We had good teachers, and a lot of motivation to prove ourselves." Zixtai's compound eyes glittered with what might have been amusement. "Indeed, and now, it seems, you will be the teachers. The Galaxy Watchers, Captain, show us wonders." As the alien dignitaries filed out, Sarah found herself alone with her core crew. They looked to her, their faces a mix of excitement and apprehension. "Well," John said with a wry grin, "I guess we've got our work cut out for us." Alva nodded, her mind already racing with scientific possibilities. "A whole new frontier of physics to explore. I can't wait to get started." Crix, the Voltari engineer, extended several of his modular limbs in a gesture of solidarity. "Whatever challenges lie ahead, we face them together." Sarah looked at each of them in turn, feeling a surge of affection and pride. They had been through fire together, had faced down the darkness at the edge of reality itself, and now they stood at the threshold of something even greater. Together, she agreed, for humanity, for the Confederation, and for all the wonders waiting to be discovered. As they left the Grand Hall, stepping out onto a balcony overlooking a breathtaking alien cityscape, Sarah gazed up at the star-filled sky. Somewhere out there, the dimensional breach pulsed with unimaginable power and possibility. Humanity's journey among the stars was just beginning. There would be challenges ahead, new threats to face, and wonders beyond imagining. But with the combined strength of a united galaxy behind them, Sarah knew that anything was possible. The future stretched out before them, vast and bright and full of promise, and they would meet it head-on, with courage, compassion, and that uniquely human spark of imagination that had already changed the course of cosmic history. "All right," Teen Sarah said, a smile playing at her lips. "Let's go make some history." Cosmic Renaissance. The dimensional breach hung in space like a shimmering veil, its swirling energies casting an ethereal glow across the sleek hull of humanity's newest flagship, the Phoenix. Named after the mythical bird that rises from its own ashes, the ship stood as a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of the human spirit. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge, her experienced eyes taking in the bustle of activity around her. The crew was a mosaic of species from across the Galactic Confederation, each bringing unique skills and perspectives to their shared mission. "Status report," Sarah called out, her voice carrying the quiet authority of a leader who had faced down cosmic horrors and lived to tell the tale. Dr. Ava Patel, now sporting cybernetic enhancements that allowed her to process complex calculations at lightning speed, looked up from her station. "The quantum harmonizers are aligned, Captain. We're ready to attempt the breach." Sarah nodded, feeling a familiar mix of excitement and trepidation. In the 5 years since the defeat of the Void Hunters, humanity had spearheaded a new age of galactic cooperation and scientific advancement. The Cosmic Accord, under her leadership, had made unprecedented strides in understanding and harnessing the energies unleashed by the Stardancer's sacrifice. Now they stood on the brink of their most ambitious experiment yet, an attempt to safely navigate the dimensional breach and explore what lay beyond. "All hands, this is the captain speaking," Sarah's voice echoed throughout the ship. "What we're about to attempt has never been done before. The risks are high, but so are the potential rewards. Whatever we find on the other side of that breach could change our understanding of the universe itself." She paused, letting her words sink in. "I won't lie to you. This mission is dangerous. But I have faith in every member of this crew, in the strength of our unity, and in the indomitable spirit that has brought us this far. Together, there's nothing we can't face." A chorus of affirmations rang out across the bridge. Sarah allowed herself a small smile before turning to her trusted XO. "Commander Reeves, initiate breach protocol." Echoes of eternity. The Grand Hall of a Galactic Confederation buzzed with an energy unlike anything seen in millennia. Representatives from 1,000 worlds gathered, their forms as diverse as the stars themselves. At the center of it all stood Captain Sarah Chen, her crew arrayed behind her like a tableau of unity. The Arcturian eldest, its form shimmering with bioluminescent patterns, addressed the assembly. "We stand at a crossroads." Its telepathic voice resonated through the minds of all present. "The Void Hunters have been vanquished, but at great cost. The actions of Captain Chen and her crew have not only saved countless lives, but have fundamentally altered the fabric of our reality." A murmur rippled through the gathered species. Sarah felt the weight of countless alien gazes upon her, a mix of awe, gratitude, and lingering suspicion. "The quantum rupture created by the Stardancer's sacrifice has opened doorways we never dreamed possible," the Arcturian continued. "New dimensions, new forms of energy, new possibilities for exploration and growth. But with this opportunity comes great responsibility." Sarah stepped forward, her voice steady despite the butterflies in her stomach. "Esteemed members of the Confederation, we stand ready to help shoulder that responsibility. Humanity may be young in the cosmic scale, but we've shown that our unique perspective can bring fresh solutions to age-old problems." She gestured to her diverse crew. "Moreover, we've proven that true strength lies not in isolation, but in cooperation. The victory over the Void Hunters wasn't just a human achievement, it was a triumph of galactic unity." The Vulcrine ambassador, a being of living crystal, chimed in. "Pretty words, Captain. But how do we know humanity won't use this new power to dominate? Your species has a history of conflict and conquest." Sarah nodded, acknowledging the point. "We do. But we also have a history of learning from our mistakes, of striving to be better. The Earth of today is not the Earth of centuries past. We've overcome our divisions, healed our planet, and now look to the stars not with greed, but with wonder and a desire to contribute." She took a deep breath, knowing her next words could shape the future of human-alien relations for generations to come. "We don't seek to rule the galaxy. We seek to be partners in its exploration and protection. Let us work together to harness these new cosmic forces for the benefit of all." The hall erupted in a cacophony of debate. Some species voiced enthusiastic support, while others expressed caution or outright skepticism. Sarah and her crew stood firm, fielding questions and addressing concerns with a mix of diplomatic tact and straightforward honesty. As the arguments raged, Dr. Ava Potel stepped forward, her eyes shining with excitement. "Esteemed representatives, if I may, the quantum rupture hasn't just opened new avenues for exploration. Our preliminary studies suggest it might hold the key to solving some of the galaxy's most pressing issues." She activated a holographic display showing swirling patterns of energy. "The dimensional breach is releasing a form of clean, virtually limitless energy. With proper development, this could end resource scarcity across the Confederation. No more wars over dwindling fuel sources, no more planets stripped bare to power civilization. The Zhurkol matriarch, her insectoid form towering over most other representatives, clicked her mandibles thoughtfully. An intriguing proposition, but such power could also be weaponized. How can we trust that it won't fall into the wrong hands? It was Commander John Rees who answered, his voice firm. By working together to ensure it doesn't. Humanity doesn't claim ownership of this discovery. We propose a joint task force with representatives from all willing species to study and develop this technology in a controlled, transparent manner. The debate raged for hours, but slowly a consensus began to form. The galaxy was changing, and with change came opportunity. Humanity, for all its youth and occasional brashness, had proven itself a valuable ally in the face of cosmic threats. Finally, the Arcturian eldest raised its hands, calling for silence. We have deliberated and we have decided. Humanity will be granted full membership in the Galactic Confederation, with all the rights and responsibilities it entails. A cheer went up from the human delegation, quickly joined by many of their alien allies. Sarah felt a swell of pride and humility. They had done it. Humanity had truly taken its place among the stars. But the Arcturian wasn't finished. Moreover, we hereby established the Cosmic Accord, a new initiative to explore the dimensional breach and harness its power for the good of all species. Captain Sarah Chen, in recognition of your leadership and vision, we ask that you head this endeavor. Sarah's mind raced. How could they fight an enemy that didn't fully exist in their dimension? Then, a spark of inspiration hit her, a crazy, human idea that just might work. Stella, she called out, can you use the quantum drive to create a localized field that matches the Void Hunter's quantum signature? The A's avatar pulsed as she ran the calculations. Theoretically possible, Captain, but highly unstable. It could tear the ship apart. Do it, Sarah ordered. Ava, work with Stella to modulate the field. Everyone else, brace for impact. As the Stardancer's quantum drive spooled up, reality began to warp around them. The void tendrils, instead of passing harmlessly through the ship, suddenly found purchase. A keening wail filled the air, the sound of two incompatible forms of existence grating against each other. Now, Crix, Sarah shouted, hit them with everything we've got. The Voltari engineer's limbs blurred as he interfaced directly with the ship's weapon systems. Beams of coherent energy, missiles laden with exotic particles, and stranger weapons still lashed out at the Void Hunters. For the first time, their attacks found their mark. The battle raged for what felt like eternity, the Stardancer pushing its systems far beyond their designed limits. Sarah felt the deck plates shuddering beneath her feet, heard the groans of stressed metal and the sizzle of overloading circuits. But slowly, inexorably, they began to push the Void Hunters back. Just as victory seemed within reach, a massive tendril of void energy slammed into the ship's starboard side. Sparks flew from consoles, and Sarah was thrown to the ground. As she struggled to her feet, she saw John slumped over his tactical station, blood trickling from a gash on his forehead. Structural integrity failing, Stella reported, her usual calm voice tinged with urgency. Hull breach on decks 3 through 7. We cannot sustain this assault much longer, Captain. Sarah gritted her teeth, her mind racing. They were so close, she could feel it. But one more hit like that would tear the Stardancer apart. She needed a solution, something unexpected, something human. Stella, she called out, a desperate plan forming in her mind. Can you isolate the quantum frequency of the Void Hunters? Affirmative, Captain, but I failed to see how that would. Transfer that frequency to the quantum drive, Sarah interrupted. Then overload it. For a moment, even the AI seemed shocked into silence. Captain, Stella finally responded, that would create a rupture in the fabric of spacetime. The ship, and everything near it, would be drawn in. Exactly, Sarah nodded grimly. Including the Void Hunters. She turned to her stunned crew. Crix, prep the escape pods. Ava, I need you to calculate the minimum safe distance. Everyone else, prepare for emergency evacuation. As her orders were carried out with frantic efficiency, Sarah placed her hand on the ship's main console. Stella, she said softly, you know what needs to be done. The A's avatar pulsed with a complex swirl of emotions. It has been an honor serving with you, Captain Chen. I will see this through to the end. Sarah felt a lump in her throat. Stella might be artificial, but she was as much a part of the crew as anyone. The honor was mine, Stella. Now let's finish this. As the escape pods jettisoned from the Starduncer, Sarah watched from the lead pod's viewport. The great ship, battered but unbowed, faced down the roiling mass of the Void Hunters. Then, with a flash of light that seared itself into Sarah's retinas, the quantum drive detonated. Reality itself seemed to scream as a vortex of impossible energies tore open the fabric of space. The Void Hunters, for all their otherworldly power, were caught in its inexorable pull. Sarah watched in awe and terror as the entities that had threatened the entire galaxy were drawn into the swirling maelstrom, their alien forms twisting and distorting before vanishing entirely. In the stunned silence that followed, Sarah realized that they had done it. Against all odds, humanity, with the help of their galactic allies, had faced down a threat of cosmic proportions and emerged victorious. As the escape pods regrouped, preparing for the long journey home, Sarah allowed herself a small smile. They had lost the Starduncer, true, and the road ahead would not be easy. But they had proven, beyond any doubt, that humanity deserved its place among the stars. The Void Hunters were defeated, but Sarah knew this was just the beginning. New challenges, new wonders, and new frontiers awaited them, and whatever the universe might throw at them next, she knew that the indomitable spirit of humanity would rise to meet it. After all, that's what they did best. John nodded, his fingers dancing across the holographic controls. Aye, Captain, powering up quantum drive. Dimensional stabilizers online. Breach protocol initiated. The Phoenix surged forward, its advanced systems humming with power. As they approached the shimmering veil of the breach, Sarah felt a tingle of electricity run down her spine. This was it, the moment they'd been working towards for years. Breach contact in 3, 2, 1. The universe seemed to hold its breath. Then, with a flash of light that seared itself into Sarah's retinas, the Phoenix plunged into the unknown. For a moment that felt like an eternity, reality itself seemed to warp and twist around them. Sarah's senses were assaulted by impossible colors and geometries that defied comprehension. Then, as suddenly as it began, it was over. Status report, Sarah called out, blinking away the afterimages. All systems operational, Captain, Crix reported, his modular limbs a blur of motion as he ran diagnostics. The ship held together beautifully. Sensors coming back online, Zara, the Proxima lieutenant announced. I'm picking up. Wait, that can't be right. Sarah leaned forward, her heart racing. What is it, Lieutenant? Zara's bioluminescent patterns pulsed with excitement and confusion. Captain, according to these readings, we're not just in another dimension. We've traveled millions of years into the future. A stunned silence fell over the bridge, broken only by the soft beeps and hums of the ship's systems. Sarah's mind reeled with the implications. They had prepared for dimensional travel, yes, but time travel. This was beyond anything they had anticipated. As the main view screen flickered to life, a collective gasp rose from the crew. The universe that greeted them was both familiar and utterly alien. Stars burned with impossible colors, their light twisted and refracted by cosmic strings that wove through space like a celestial tapestry. But it was what lay at the center of their view that truly took Sarah's breath away. A massive structure, clearly artificial, hung in space before them. It was a sphere the size of a solar system, its surface a breathtaking mosaic of technology and organic matter that seemed to pulse with life. My God, John breathed, voicing what they were all thinking. What is that thing? Before anyone could respond, a voice, ancient, powerful, and somehow familiar, resonated through the ship's communications system. "Welcome, children of the young galaxy," the voice said, its tones carrying echoes of countless eons. "We have been waiting a very long time for you." Sarah straightened her uniform, squaring her shoulders. Whatever this was, wherever or whenever they were, she knew that the next few moments would shape the destiny of not just humanity, but of all sentient life. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Galactic Confederation vessel Phoenix," she responded, her voice steady despite the awe and trepidation she felt. "We come in peace and in the spirit of exploration. May we ask who we are addressing?" There was a pause, as if the ancient intelligence was considering its words carefully. "We are the culmination, the combined consciousness of countless species who have transcended the boundaries of time and space. And you, Sarah Chen, are the fulcrum upon which the fate of all reality now turns." The bridge erupted into a flurry of excited and nervous chatter. Sarah held up a hand for silence, her mind racing. "I'm not sure I understand," she said cautiously. "How can we be expected to influence events millions of years in our future?" The voice of the culmination seemed to soften, taking on an almost parental tone. "Time, like so many other concepts you once held dear, is far more fluid than you imagine. The choices you make here, now, will echo across the ages, shaping the very fabric of existence." Images began to flash across the view screen, glimpses of possible futures, of civilizations rising and falling, of cosmic wonders and terrors beyond imagination. Sarah saw humanity spreading across the stars, saw the Galactic Confederation evolving into something greater and more unified than anyone had ever dreamed possible. But she also saw darker possibilities, wars that scorched entire galaxies, beings of pure energy locked in eternal conflict, the heat death of the universe itself creeping ever closer. "The power unleashed by your confrontation with the Void Hunters was but the first step," the culmination explained. "It set in motion a chain of events that would ultimately lead to this moment, the birth of a new cosmic order." Sarah's mind reeled with the weight of this revelation. "But why us?" she asked. "Why now?" "Because you, humanity, possess a unique combination of traits that make you ideally suited to face the challenges ahead," the culmination replied. "Your adaptability, your creativity, your capacity for both great destruction and even greater compassion. These are the qualities needed to shepherd the universe through its next great evolution." The implications were staggering. Sarah looked around at her crew, saw the mix of awe, fear, and determination on their faces. They had come seeking knowledge, hoping to push the boundaries of exploration. Instead, they found themselves tasked with nothing less than shaping the destiny of all existence. "What would you have us do?" Sarah asked, her voice barely above a whisper. The massive structure before them seemed to pulse with energy. "Join us," the culmination said. "Merge your consciousness with ours. Add your uniquely human perspective to the grand tapestry of cosmic thought. Help us guide the younger races towards enlightenment, protect them from the threats that lurk between the stars, and ultimately, ensure that life itself endures long after the last stars have gone dark." It was offer beyond imagination, godhood, for all intents and purposes. The power to shape reality itself, to transcend the limitations of physical form and linear time. But it also meant leaving behind everything and everyone they had ever known. Sarah turned to her crew, saw the questions in their eyes. This wasn't a decision she could make alone. "What do you think?" she asked softly. John was the first to speak, his voice thick with emotion. "We've come this far together, Captain. Whatever you decide, I'm with you." Ava nodded, her cybernetic eyes glowing with excitement. "The scientific possibilities alone, it's beyond anything we could have dreamed." One by one, the crew voiced their support. They had faced the unknown together before, had stared into the cosmic abyss, and emerged stronger. This was simply the next step in their journey. Sarah took a deep breath, squaring her shoulders as she turned back to face the view screen. "We accept your offer," she said, her voice ringing with determination. "Not just for ourselves, but for all those who will come after us. We'll help guide the universe towards a brighter future, no matter the cost." As the words left her lips, Sarah felt a surge of energy unlike anything she had ever experienced. The boundaries between self and other, between past and future, began to blur. She saw the whole of cosmic history unfolding before her, felt the weight of countless civilizations resting on her shoulders. But she also felt the strength of her crew beside her, the indomitable human spirit that had carried them across the stars. Together, they would face this new frontier as they had faced every challenge before, with courage, compassion, and an unshakable belief in the power of unity. As the Phoenix merged with the cosmic structure, becoming one with the culmination, Sarah's last conscious thought as an individual being was one of hope and wonder. They had come seeking knowledge and found a destiny greater than any of them could have imagined. The cosmic renaissance had begun, and humanity would lead the way.